Today we'll be doing another question that is based on first in first out method and also last in first out method. Okay, let's begin. So there are transactions for various months, Jan, Feb, March and so on. We'll be starting with the first transaction. There is a receipt of goods, quantity of 4,000 units at the rate 4 rupees, you will get 16,000 rupees. So for Jan 2nd, I'm going to carry forward the balance 4,000 at the rate 4, 16,000 rupees. Next we have another transaction in the month of January where we received goods worth 500 units at the rate of 5. That comes up to 2,500 rupees. So once I carry forward the balance, always remember carry forward the previous balance first. So previous balance is 4,000 at the rate for 16,000 rupees, and then today's, that is Jan 20th balance is 500 units at the rate 5 is 2,500 rupees. Clear? Moving on to the next month, the transaction on 5th Feb is sale, right? Whenever there is a sale, you will write it in the next column, issue 2,000 units at the rate 4 comes up to 8,000. So why are we issuing 2,000 units at the rate 4? Because we are solving under FIFO method. So the first units which comes will move out of the factory first. Therefore, what is the balance here? 4,004 and 505. So out of which stock will you issue first? Because this is FIFO method, you will issue from the first stock. So out of 4,000, I am issuing 2,000 units at which rate? 4. So 2,000 into 4, I will get 8,000 rupees. So what is the balance on Feb 5th? 4,000 minus 2,000, 2,000 units. The rate will remain same. So 2,000 into 4 is again 8,000 rupees. And then we have 500 units carry forward at the rate 5, 2,500. Clear? That is until Feb 5th. Moving on to the next date, that is 10th of Feb, the company has again purchased goods. Okay, 6,000 units at the rate 6 rupees will give you 36,000 rupees. They have received goods. Carry forward the balance, 2,000 the first stock, 500 the second stock and 6,000 the present stock on 10th of Feb. Next date, 12th. Now the question says issued 4,000 units only. Okay, it says only the number of units sold. How or what is the basis of sale? We need to decide upon the method that we are using here. Since we are using FIFO method, we'll go in chronological order. That is the first in, first out. So in order to send out or sell 4,000 goods, do we have entire 4,000 goods in the first stock? No. How much do we have? Only 2,000. So issue the entire stock first. So out of 4,000, I am issuing 2,000 goods. So 2,000 at the rate 4 to 8,000. Now how much is left? 2,000 units more I need to sell. What's the next stock left with us? 500 at the rate 5. So again, I'm going to just carry forward that 500 at the rate 5, 2,500 rupees. How much is left? 4,000 minus 2,500 units. You will get the balance of 1,500. So 1,500 at the last stock. Okay, from 6,000 I'm issuing because 2,000 is gone, 500 is gone. The leftover is what? 6,000 units at the rate 6. Okay, how much is the balance here? 4,000 minus 2,500. 1,500 goods into 6, I will get 9,000 rupees. So when I write the balance, is the first stock remaining? No. Is the second stock remaining? No. Third stock? Yes. But how much? Out of 6,000 units, I have issued 1,500 units. So 6,000 minus 1,500, I will get 4,500 units. At the same rate, 6 rupees per unit, I will get the answer 27,000. Okay, we'll continue. So continuing, the next date is 2nd of March. What have they done? They have issued 1,000 units of goods. Again, from the previous balance where it was 4,500 units, from that batch I'm issuing 1,000 units. At which rate? 6 rupees. So 1,000 into 6, 6,000. So how do you write the balance? The previous balance was 4,500 units minus 1,000 will give you 3,500 units. Multiplied by 6, you will get 21,000 rupees. The next transaction happened on March 5th, where they again issued units 2,000. At which rate? 6. So 3,500 batch, I am issuing 2,000 units. Multiplied by 6, I get 12,000 rupees. How do I write the balance? 3,500 minus 2,000, I get the answer 1,500 units at the same rate, that is 6 rupees, will give you 9,000 rupees. Next, we have the transaction on 15th of March, where they have purchased the goods. How many units? 4,500 units at the rate 5.5 will give you 24,750 rupees. How do I write the balance on March 15? First, bring down the previous day's balance. That is copy paste 1,500, 6 and 9,000. Today's balance, that is March 15th, 4,500 units at the rate 5.5, 24,750. The last transaction for the company happens on March 20th, where they are issuing 3,000 units of goods. Now, do we have 3,000 units in one complete stock over here? No, because we are following first in, first out. We can only issue it in parts. Okay. So, the first stock 1,500, I will completely issue it at the rate 6, 9,000 rupees. So, 3,000 minus 1,500 will again give you 1,500. That I will be issuing from the next stock at the rate 5.5. 1,500 multiplied by 5.5 will give you 8,250 rupees. So what is the balance? The first stock has completely sold out. The second stock, out of which we have issued 1,500. So 4,500 minus 1,500 will give you 3,000 units. At the rate 5.5, the answer is 16,500. So we have completed all the transaction of the company under FIFO method. So what is the closing stock according to this method? Closing stock as on 20th March is 3,000 units at the rate 5.5 per unit. Done? So we have completed the first method. So let's solve the same question under LIFO method, which states the last stock will go out the first, having the same transaction. Okay. So transaction as usual starts from Jan 2nd. We have a purchase of 4,000 units of goods at the rate 4, 16,000 rupees. So we carry forward the balance 4,000 at 4, 16,000 rupees. Next, on 20th Jan, we again purchase goods of 500 units at rate 5, 2,500 rupees. Carry forward the previous balance first, 4,000 at rate 4, 16,000, 500, 5, 2,500. Moving on to the next month, that is Feb 5th, they have issued goods worth 2,000 goods. Okay. Now remember, under FIFO method, we issued from the first stock. Now since we are solving LIFO method, that is last in, first out, we will be issuing from the last stock first. How much are we supposed to issue? 2,000 units. So first we'll take from the last stock 500, 5, 2,500. So 2,000 units we have to issue. We have issued 500. Balance is 1500. From where will we issue that? From the remaining stock. Okay, so from 4000 we are issuing, that's why the rate is 4 rupees. Multiplied, we'll get 6000 rupees as the answer. What is the balance for 5th of Feb? Does the stock of 500 exist? No, we have completely issued it. Does the stock of 4000 exist? Yes, but only a balance of it, because we have issued 1500. So 4000 minus 1500 units will get 2500 units. At the rate 4, we'll get the answer 10,000 rupees. Next date is Feb 10th. Again, the company has purchased goods, that is 6,000 units. At the rate 6, we have 36,000 rupees. Moving on to the balance of the particular date on 10th. Carry forward the previous balance as usual. 2,500 at the rate 4, 10,000. 10th balance 6,006, 36,000. On 12th, that is the next date, we have to issue 4,000 units of goods. Remember, we are following last in, first out. So, look at the last stock over here. Can we issue entire 4,000 from this stock? Yes, because it is abundant than required. So, out of 6,000, I am going to issue 4,000 units. So, 4,000 multiplied by 6, we have 24,000 rupees. What is the balance as on 12th of Feb? The last stock, okay, the first stock is 2,500 at the rate 4, 10,000, right, as it is. Out of 6,000, how much have we issued? 4,000. So the balance is 2,000 at the rate 6, 12,000 rupees. So continuing from the previous table, so the next transaction happens on March 2nd, where they have issued 1,000 units. So at the rate 6, again this 1,000 we are going to take it from the previous last stock. Okay, there were two stocks. The first stock was 2,500 and the second stock was of 2,000 units. So from the second stock of units, from that 2,000 units I am issuing 1,000 at the same rate 6, I'll get 6,000 rupees. So the balance, carry forward 2,500 at the rate for 10,000, and from 2,000 I have issued 1,000. Again the balance becomes 1,000 at the rate 6, 6,000 rupees. Next date is March 5th, where they have issued again 2,000 units of goods. Again this is last in, first out. Look at the last batch of goods. Issue that first. Okay, 1,006, 6,000. So as it is, the remaining 1,000 you will issue at the remaining stock. So out of 2,500 I am issuing 1,000 at the rate for 4,000 rupees. What is the balance? Is this stock existing? No. Is this stock existing? Yes, but how much? 2,500 minus 1,000, 1,500 units at the rate for 6,000 rupees. Moving to the next date, the company has purchased raw materials or units worth 4,000 units at the rate 5.5. Total comes up to 24,750. So, carry forward the previous balance first, 1,500 for 6. Today's balance, that is on 15th of March, 4,500 at the rate 5.5, 24,750. Next date, the last transaction happens on 20th of March. How much are they issuing? Units? 3,000 units. Look at the last batch. Do we have all the units in the last batch? Yes, right? It's more than sufficient. So out of the last batch, I'm issuing 3,000 units at the rate 5.5. I'll get 16,500 rupees. And then write down the balance. 1,500 for 6,000 rupees. And out of 4,500, I have issued 3,000 units. So 4,500 minus 3,000 is 1,500 at the rate 5.5, 8,250. Be careful when you're carrying forward the balances carry forward it in a chronological order. Do not reorder or shuffle the balances. Okay, it will be difficult for you to issue. Okay, so whether it's FIFO method or LIFO method, whenever you're carrying out the balances, do it in a chronological order. Got it? So what is the balance or the closing stock as on 20th March according to LIFO method? There are two stock of goods. One is 1500 units at the rate of 4 rupees per unit. Second, another stock of goods 1500 units at the rate 5.5 per unit. Right? So hope you have understood the entire problem under both the method, first in first out and last in first out.